And you're just getting these really aggressive arguments that are never about the people, but always about the idea. This is the first thing we always do when we brought new people on the team is we had to say, look, it's going to get a little heated in here. You have to understand it's not about you. And a lot of people were very uncomfortable with that because they felt like when I attack your idea, I'm attacking you. And they had a hard time separating the cognitive versus the personal, which is really hard. It takes years to get at this. Because what we ultimately had, the thing that made this work in the end and why I miss it so much is because what we had as a team was trust. And it was a deepest level of personal trust. We didn't always love each other. Heck, sometimes we didn't even like each other. But we'd go into these rooms, Bob, and we would argue because we knew that that's how you create diamonds and you had to put everything under pressure. And we'd walk out of there and we'd still at least be able to talk to each other most of the time. And it would get pretty heated sometimes. But you had to separate the personal from the process. My job was essentially I was a professional devil's advocate. I'd have a team, and I used to be on the other side as a researcher when I first started. But you imagine it's like you've got a team, sometimes of 20-somethings, particularly towards the end, who've just spent the better part of 6 months pouring their heart and soul into this idea. And they're trying to get promoted. They're trying to feed their young family. There's a lot on the line personally, and they're trying to get more recognition. They're trying to climb the ladder. They're trying to show that they're good at what we do. And then they bring these ideas to these meetings we call checkpoint meetings. And my job was to just put it bluntly, to tear the idea down, to find its holes, to dismantle it. Because if I didn't do it, it was going to happen out in the marketplace with our clients, which was a disaster, right? And it took me years to figure out how to do that without doing collateral damage to the person. That is so hard. And I'm the first one to raise my hand. I didn't always get it right. And I live with that today. But what I learned is very early on, particularly with people new to this, whether they're young or not young, didn't matter. But the people who knew this, I tried to sit down very transparently, explain to them how this worked, how it works, why it works that way, what we're trying to do. If you hear me say this, this is what I'm trying to do. Here's what I'm not trying to do. And not everyone could wrap their brain around it. I don't want you to give in. If you give in, I've lost. I want you to win. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to make you win. That's it. And that was my goal. Is like these research companies, like, I want nothing more than you to win this argument, but I am going to make you work so hard for it. And that was my job. And you can only do that if you don't have to like each other, but you have to trust each other.